conducted a 10-state battleground poll that showed an emerging force of care economy voters were critical to Joe Biden's victory in the presidential race. This past cycle, we ran voter contact programs in 10 states, a $26 million program. And then after the election, we polled all voters to see why they made the decisions to vote for president. And what we found, I don't think was surprising, maybe surprising to some, that it wasn't, voters didn't pull the lever or vote just because of dissatisfaction with Donald Trump or not liking Trump's tweets. They did it because they support care economy policies like paid family and medical leave, child care investments, elder care investments, and that this group of voters was key to Biden's victory. The poll results, they clearly demonstrate that voters want these policies passed, and they want investments in these policies, which is why Congress should really extend the emergency paid sick and paid leave pandemic programs that are set to expire at the end of this year. I think all of us know that we either are experiencing a care crisis ourselves, or know somebody, have a close friend or loved one who is experiencing a care crisis right now. And this is really reflected in the data. We found that across the board, regardless of demographics, the care economy policies earn strong support in rural, suburban, and urban areas. It's very broad and not limited to any one area or any one kind of person. And in particular, when you drill down into suburban voters in battleground states who swung decisively towards Joe Biden, 56 to 42%, one of the biggest factors in supporting Joe Biden was that these voters were extremely supportive of the care economy agenda and President-elect Biden's very strong policy support as part of his economic recovery plan for investments in this agenda. So for instance, 86% of these voters support tax credits for caring for older and disabled relatives. 78% support investments in paid family and medical leave, and 77% support national paid family and medical leave. So you see, it's very, very strong. And the voters that really made the difference in the election in terms of who won and who lost supported these issues. Congress right now is debating a COVID relief package that would provide some investments in a whole range of different policies and in programs like unemployment insurance, like child care investments, and other things that will, and small business loans that will help Americans and get through this pandemic. And it's very clear that from the results of our polling, that Americans want Congress to extend the emergency paid sick and paid leave pandemic programs that are set to expire at the end of this year. I could just use one example. I was reading this morning about a childcare center in Rochester, New Hampshire, the Rochester Child Care Center. They have 65 employees, and 25 of those employees were able to access emergency paid sick leave and emergency paid family leave from the funds that were delivered by Congress in the COVID relief package known as the Families First Act that was passed earlier this year. And because they were able to access those funds, that childcare centers could stay open. The families that bring their children to the childcare center could continue to work. And the people who were at the childcare center working and making a living were able to continue to collect their paychecks. So it's really important, if we're going to get the economy going, to be able to provide for paid leave and the kinds of things that people need when their children get sick or they get sick, to be able to stay home from work and know that they're still going to get paid. That is really the top of mind of many voters. And in these 10 states, which were the battlegrounds that many of which Joe Biden won, and won by narrow margins, the care economy voters were really making the difference in who won and who lost. And I would just add that our polling interviewed 2,000 voters in 10 battleground states directly after the election. It was conducted by Jill Normington of Normington Pets Associates, and the states that we polled in were Florida, Iowa, Maine, Michigan, Montana, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Our polling shows that these voters, that voters agree across political, race, gender, and class party lines that it's time for Congress to address the health and well-being of all Americans by passing the kind of care policies that they need to get through the pandemic. I mean, with 3 in 4 voters in 10 battleground states, both Biden voters and Trump voters supporting these proposals, Congress really should pay attention.